Here I am. Look at you. You handsome devil, you. I had been through a lot. I overcame homelessness in Florida, which had its perks. You know, living on the beach without a home was fun. It was hard. I was hungry. But, I overcame that. And then my mom was really sick with cancer. Unfortunately, she passed away. And my father died of a heroin overdose. So I came from a place of kind of like a, more than a 1-2 punch. Okay. Enjoy the show. I'll get in the chair now and behave myself. I was just playing Voodoo Child on the guitar, by the way. Hola, me llamo NOKI. Am I doing good so far? Hola, me llamo NOKI. Yo soy DJ y music producer de la EDM y bass music. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Hi guys, I'm Noki. I'm a DJ and producer around here, and I do EDM and bass music, in case you don't speak my broken and very rough Spanish from my days living in Florida. On a scale of 1 to 10, how authentically are you living right now, both online and offline? Very much so. I really, over the past year to a year and a half, I have really let go of the idea of caring too much about what people think. But it's been fun to strike the balance of still coming from a place of love and authenticity. I really, with the DJing, I want to spread a message of love and what we say in the rave community, plur, peace, love, unity, respect, and responsibility, but also in a really punk rock way. And for me, what that means is just being yourself. Never have the intention to hurt anybody or set out to do anything malicious, but you absolutely should, in my opinion, just be passionate about life, because your health can turn in a second, and life changes quickly. So pursue your dreams, go do the thing, right? Don't worry about judgment. I think even especially within yourself, judging your own thoughts and just being too critical of yourself. Don't do it. Just do the thing. Go do the thing. It'll be okay. You'll figure it out. So yeah, very authentic offline and online. Okay. Where does the name Noki come from? Okay. So about 2.5 years ago, I was taking a break from music, and but I wanted to start to get back into it. And me and my girlfriend, we went to Detroit to go see one of Grizz's last shows. If you don't know Grizz, he is a very popular bass music DJ and producer, and he was going on hiatus, and it was known that he was going to take a break. So essentially, we went to Detroit to see one of his last shows before he went on break, and he blew my freaking mind. And I loved everything about what he did and what I saw and the message and all of that, and it just really spoke to me. And I had realized that despite, I had been through a lot. I overcame homelessness in Florida, which had its perks. Living on the beach without a home was fun. It was hard. I was hungry. But, I overcame that, and then my mom was really sick with cancer. Unfortunately, she passed away, and my father died of a heroin overdose. So I came from a place of kind of a, more than a 1-2 punch. And so going to see Grizz was very healing, and it made me realize that despite what I've been through and just time continuing on, your age is completely irrelevant, and I would even say that how you feel, your thoughts, they're all completely irrelevant. Just pursue. You still have a story inside of you. You still have a dream to pursue, and you still have wisdom to gain, as well as dust like glitter across the earth. So once again, just go do that. So yeah, Noki came about because after that show and feeling all these emotions of love and peace and music, and realizing that I still had a dream and a story to tell, my girlfriend started calling me her little Noki, and which was kind of like like a play on the Italian dish, the potato pasta. So as we were driving home from the show, we were so inspired, and she was just calling me that. Like, we'd stop at gas stations, and she'd say, "Hey, Noki, go get some whatever, like snacks for us or whatever." And it kind of started to stick. And then I realized, well, if we spell it, is it phonetically, I think, like NOKI, rather than like how you actually spell it, you know, GON something, however you spell GN. I'm sorry, Italians, don't kill me. But I thought that could be pretty cool, like NOKI, Noki, which I know that's not how it's traditionally pronounced as well. But I just thought that that could be a cool thing, and it comes from such a place of love and comfort from a loved one, feeling inspired, knowing I still had a story to tell. So that's where it came from. That's what that is all about. Oh man, okay. How did you get into DJing? What's your mission? What drives you to create? Okay. Question number one, how did you get into DJing? I am a third generation DJ in my family. My grandpa was a DJ. My dad wasn't so much in my life, but my mom was. So my mom was a DJ. So second generation, right? And then me as the third generation. So my grandpa was actually a really famous Pittsburgh DJ. Many stories I could tell you there. If you want to look up Westview Danceland, it was a nightclub in Westview for teenagers in the Pittsburgh area in like the 60s. He did that. He had a really eclectic and large record collection. A book was actually written about him in Japan. And so I grew up in Pittsburgh, in and out of radio studios, while Grandpa did his radio show. And then helping him carry the boxes of records in and out. I can't tell you how many different WYEP, WPLW, WWCS, all of these radio stations in Pittsburgh were like my childhood stomping grounds. So I'd get really bored and I'd go chase grasshoppers out by the giant satellite, and probably some weird waves going to and from that satellite is how I ended up this way. And then my mom also did radio shows in Pittsburgh, and I was just around it a whole lot. So the idea of playing recorded music for other people and entertaining is just something that was as common to me as growing up in a family who owns a restaurant. So you just learn how to cook and clean, which was also part of my story. But yeah, it's just in me. It's just a generational thing. My mission, I always say this, is that beyond the music, like a lot of times people will say like it's all about the music. And for me, it is about the music. But really what it's about is leaving behind like good memories, motivation, believing in yourself, and like a really fierce passion and a really fierce love for yourself. So the music, of course, I love to make music. I love to share it, whether it's mine or somebody else's, as a DJ and an entertainer. But really my goal when I get on that stage is to kind of heal myself and heal you. I had mentioned some trauma from the past, and like I just really want to leave the stage feeling healed, and that I really gave a piece of me to you. I want you to walk away loving yourself more. I want you to walk away realizing it's not that serious. Even when life sucks, even when, your dad, you get the news that your dad died of a heroin overdose. I know that sounds kind of dark, but life is going to go on for you, and you still have a story to tell. And for me, I really understood that like I'm in the sunshine on the beach. It'll be okay. Like life is not that serious, and things are good. Life is good. I woke up today, and it's gonna be okay. So my mission really is to push this idea of loving yourself, healing yourself, smiling, laughing. It's just not that, I screw up all the time on stage, and I love when I do, because I'm not here to be some perfect, polished pop star. I'm here to show you that even when you mess up on stage, which is like, for a lot of people, they have stage fright. They couldn't even imagine getting on stage, let alone messing up on stage. I didn't die, and I'm building a fan base, and I'm touring not even the tri-state area, but like regionally, like the East Coast and the Midwest. and everything's okay. So, you know, we tend to really limit ourselves and box ourselves into things in life. And I'm just breaking free of that. Yes, I am. So that's my mission. I want you guys to live your life and be passionate, heal yourself, love yourself, and walk away with a smile on your face. What drives you to create? I kind of just answered that probably, but yeah, a lot of it is like healing myself and you guys. I really genuinely enjoy people like dancing and going off in front of me and smiling and healing and beyond the ego of like, oh, we love what you did, like, thank you. How do I buy a jersey? Which I should, yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But like, that's great, right? And it's really exciting to know that I'm like affecting people's lives. But what really inspires me is like seeing change in you. So I hope that makes sense. While we're talking about merch, let me just say, my good buddy, Leaf, Dr. Leaf, made this for me. It's a one of a kind. You can't get this anywhere. But I am getting a little hot. So Leaf, I love you. But I'm going to take this off for the rest of the interview. But what's under it, Noki? Oh my gosh, it's a Noki jersey. Yes, yes. And really cool fun fact. I'm going to turn around so you can see it. The guy that I mentioned earlier, Grizz, who was the popular DJ that went on hiatus, I actually had a chance to really meet him back in December, so less than a year ago. And he was very sweet. He gave me some wonderful advice. His team was great. We had some really, really magical moments. And he signed the back of this jersey. So I know we're going to kind of break for a minute, but you have to see Grizz's signature because he's the reason why, sort of. Oh. I think it's right there. Do I need to crouch down maybe?
There you go.
I don't know if you could see it, but it's right. It's somewhere right there. Enjoy, and thank you, Grizz. We love you, Grant. So yeah, okay, back to the questions. You talk about being a bright light for people. What does that mean to you? Yeah, I mean, a lot of it circles around my long-windedness already, which is like healing, your healing, and just encouraging you to go after your dreams, you know, even if you're wearing dirty pants, which I am right now. I worked out in these yesterday and I panicked when I remembered I had to do this today. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I need to get dressed and roll my windows down and have the windblown hair to step aside from the fact that my hair's dirty. But yeah, it's all about you guys. I love to write. I love to play guitar. But, you know, that's a kind of different kind of artistry, the DJing aspect of this, and being a bright light for people. And what that means to me really is just making sure that you walk away feeling comforted, in your own skin, happy with yourself, accepting of yourself, and loving yourself. One of the biggest struggles that I've had to go through, probably from my drinking days and a lot of anxiety, and probably drinking black coffee on an empty stomach in the morning, is that I have some stomach issues. And there are some days where it almost feels kind of like an autoimmune disorder, almost like I'm on a journey with that. But I feel extremely fatigued. And even on those days, I've noticed when I'm on the couch and I don't feel good and I don't feel like Noki, I just stop and I think, instead of panicking and doing all the things that we do when we panic about our health, I just love myself. I love the pain literally right here. And it lessens it. It heals me. It helps me stay bright and happy and good. And so that's something that I want to project to you guys. Love yourself. Love your pain, you know, whether it's physical or emotional, and just stay passionate and keep going. You have a story within. Okay, what's your dream set or venue if there are no limits? Ooh. Okay. If there are no limits, wow. I might be saying this just because of last night, but I feel pretty passionate about this. Last night, I watched John Summit close out Ultra Music Fest 2026. I watched the live stream from here in Pittsburgh. I didn't make it down to Miami this year, even though most years I do go. I lived in Miami for a long time, and while no city is perfect, I really, truly love South Florida. I really do. And I think that having the chance to play at Ultra, and you know what? The question says no limits, so I'm just going to go there. I would love to do what John Summit did last night. I would love to be able to close out Ultra Music Fest. Just him getting in the crowd and interacting, and you could feel what it was like to be there. Like the thousands of people, the lights, the laser, the fire, the music, pyrotechnics, the warm breeze being just on the verge of summertime. There's something really romantic and magical about Miami for Miami Music Week, which used to be Winter Music Conference, as well as Ultra Music Festival. It all happens in late March, and there's a lot of energy in the air. And while I love EDC Orlando, I really love Electric Forest. That's my anniversary with my partner. So we go every year and celebrate. What I really think would be cool is to really just give a nod to where I cut my teeth, which was Miami. The Miami music scene, the nightclub scene, excuse me, very, 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 very cutthroat. So coming back to Pittsburgh, you know, I'm like a whirling dervish of energy, and because I've seen a lot from Miami. So I want to get back down there and really do that. I think that'd be cool. Okay, let's see. On to the next. What have you learned about yourself through all of this? Oh, man. The biggest thing that I have learned is that you have to let go of caring about what people think. I don't know one artist that is really making an impact that hasn't had a hater or the other end, right? Like really, really passionate fans that they're like super fans. So, you know, just like most artists, I've been like dragged through the mud, and I've also been built up to really high highs. And I've, you know, also gotten in my car and got real quiet with myself and silenced that ego, because you have to watch that stuff. You can't let the bad stuff drag you down to the point where it sabotages your creativity or your self-esteem or your health, right? And you can't take the high highs and get delusional about it either. So the biggest thing that I've learned, and it very much so has been the brutal way of like ripping a Band-Aid off of like a really hairy area of your body. And that is like, yeah, people are going to have their opinions. They're going to lie. There's going to be rumors. The people are going to be jealous. They're going to be mad that it's not them, or that you're not single, or whatever it is. But you're either going to break and cower and go back into just, I'm going to like, you know, cut all the color out of my hair, take the jersey off, and, you know, go back to working remote in tech, or I'm going to decide to not care. You know, I'm really, really into motivational content like Tony Robbins and Eric Thomas, and you do have to be careful with that kind of stuff for sure, but yeah, it's just basically don't care. Have a punk rock attitude about it. Once again, a loving punk rock attitude, though, not, you know, moving through a room like people will move for me, but moving through the room like I'm going to do what I came here to do. And with all love and respect, you know, I'm here to help as well, and be a servant as well as lead. So I hope that came across okay. What's something people wouldn't expect about you? Give me a fun fact. Oh my gosh, there's so many fun facts. Do you see me? Okay, a cool fun fact. Let me think about this. I really love, let's do a few. I really love soca music. A lot of times people say to me like, how are you so like happy and bright? And I'm not always happy and bright. I have bad days too, but I don't stay there. That's a really big thing is, you know, motion kind of moves emotion. So if you're emotionally kind of not feeling great, go take a walk, go do a cold plunge, go, you know, do how many push-ups can you do, you know, do that instead of morning coffee, or do that and then morning coffee. See if you even need the caffeine. But soca music really helps keep my vibes bright, and I highly recommend it. The beautiful thing about soca music that I would hope people like really hear me when I say this is that I rarely hear vulgarities in it. It really, for the most part, very broadly speaking, it wants to celebrate life and partying and being grateful for what you have. And when you hear music being created that is soca, so, from what I understand, it's primarily from Trinidad and Tobago. It's a very different life than what we're used to here. And so when you hear people singing about like mangoes and rice and chicken and rum and carnival, how can you not be happy? Like when the sun is shining in and you're listening to this music and you're slicing up a pineapple in your kitchen, how can you not be put into a good mood? So I'm very much so about the kind of music that you put into your psyche does affect you. So soca music. If you're having a down day, highly recommend Kes, Kes. I think his name is Machel Montano or Marshall Montano. I've kind of heard it pronounced a few different ways. Farmer Nappy is also a good one. If you look up his song, Backyard Jam, if that does not put you in like a total Lion King good mood, I don't know what to tell you. Soca music, that's a big one for me. Another cool thing about me, like I said, I was homeless on the beaches of the panhandle of Florida, which was wild. I was working as a DJ and a closing manager of a restaurant, and I was drinking at that time. It's, hate to say this, but when you work at a taco and tequila like nightclub restaurant right on the beach, and everybody gets off work, we're pouring up some shots and having some fun. And everybody's hanging out while I'm counting down the money, closing down the bar for the night. And we're drinking and having some fun. But they would all go home, and I didn't want people to know that I was homeless, so I would be a manager and stay late to do paperwork. Most of the time the paperwork was done, I would go out to the ocean, and I would just jump in the ocean. I was just kind of crazy like that. So I almost was flirting with the idea of like, if Mother Ocean swallows me whole in the depths and the darkness of where I'm at right now, because we're talking like 3 a.m. Nobody's on the beach usually at 3 o'clock in the morning, especially in the Panhandle. Miami, different story. Panhandle, beautiful beaches, but nobody's there. And if the Gulf engulfs me, I don't know, there was like a weird, I don't know if that would be masochistic, but like romanticism with that. It never did, obviously. I'm still here. I think I still have the sand in my hair as well from those days. But I would like shower. Like I'd use the beach showers, and I always took, a meal from the restaurant I worked in. And my only friend was a little bamboo plant that sat on the dashboard of my 1991 Mazda Miata. And people probably thought I was nuts. I would carry it around so it wouldn't get bleached by the sun, because bamboo is actually kind of sensitive to the sun. You have to be careful with it. So once again, just you'll encounter things in life that you never expected, and it's okay. Like, being homeless on the beach in Florida was not that bad. It was wild and it was fun, and I had a ton of friends, and it was sad, but like, I have a degree from Penn State, a bachelor's of science, and I went to Berklee College of Music. I'm an educated guy, and I still ended up homeless simply because a relationship didn't work out and things moved real fast, and I just wasn't prepared, and I did not have enough money saved up, so I kind of just went into survival mode. So life is going to happen, but that's a fun fact. And I was vegetarian for like 13 years. That was really cool and fun. Nowadays, I pretty much eat everything, but I enjoy vegetarian meals as well. A lot of my diet is Asian and Indian cuisine. I really like that kind of stuff. I'm not a real big fan of the American diet. On the road, that is very difficult, which gives me my doubts sometimes about traveling on the road, because, you guys know, truck stops, not great food, or great coffee, by the way. So those are some fun facts about me. If someone watching this isn't fully chasing their dreams, we're already in trouble. What would you say to them? I don't want to get out of this chair and mess up the frame. Please. What are you doing? Pursue your dreams. Pursue your dreams. Once again, like, this is the whole thing, fam. This is the whole thing. Like, do it. You have haters anyways. People are judging you at your place of work. People are judging you in your family. They're judging you. I'll put it on me. Do you know how it feels to be a guy and your whole life be called skinny? Like, no guy wants to be called skinny. That's terrible. I could have let that beat me down. But instead, I got into Kung Fu. I got into martial arts. I am hitting the gym again and taking that a lot more seriously now. If I took off this shirt, you'd be impressed. But like, do your thing. And it's okay to crack jokes like that. It's okay to love yourself and maybe even like look a little bit off or like even a little egotistical of like, yeah, like I do love myself. You know, you should love yourself too. And like, you know, keep it in check, but like go pursue your dreams. Figure out a way and do not wait. And also, please stop making answers harder than they need to be. I wasted years of my life thinking that music production is like this hard, you know, you really have to like know your craft. And that's not to disrespect the craft, but I really built my own box and then I locked it and I threw away the key and I wondered why I couldn't make progress. Yeah, like to a degree you have to put your time in and respect the craft. But also you need to be aware of all that is made available to you with technology and stop knocking yourself in the dirt just because you're not Rick Rubin. I don't know if you guys know who Rick Rubin is, but he's a very famous producer, Jay-Z and a bunch of people. Yeah, don't hold yourself back. Like, if you only have a crappy laptop and some samples, use your crappy laptop and samples. You would be astounded to know how many pop songs were not made with painstakingly, fully created from scratch things, and people are becoming millionaires off of it. So like, that's just one example, but like, yeah, go for it. Do what you can right now. Don't make it harder for yourself. Freaking go for it and do what it takes. Like, conquer your laziness. If you need to get a job or a second job to pay for that camera or that guitar or merchandise or whatever it is, go for it and try, because if you don't spend the money, if you don't spend the time, it's like not asking the question. It's definitely a no. When I was asked to be on this, it could have gone yes or no. But not being asked, it's definitely a no because there's radio silence. So ask. Even if things don't turn out well, even if you get a little embarrassed, welcome to life. Go for it because it's coming at you anyways, my friend, like a freaking dodgeball. Are you going to get smacked in the head? Or are you going to catch that dodgeball from Ben Stiller and you know? Go for it. Okay, on to the next. How has it felt to be seen in the hot seat today? Any final thoughts? First of all, thank you for doing this. It was great. I love doing this kind of stuff. I so desperately just want people to feel happy and encouraged and filled with motivation and love. Like, that's the big thing. I hope that you walk away from this feeling so freaking motivated to conquer the day. Who cares if the weather's not great or it's kind of cloudy today or whatever. Put on some soca music, get yourself a pineapple, put on some pink and some electric green, and just go for it. So I enjoy stuff like this because at the end of life, this will live on. And, you know, there's a famous lyric by one of my favorite writers in American music and one of my favorite bands. The writer is Stephen Jenkins. He is the lead singer of Third Eye Blind, and really motivational song called Graduate. If you've never heard that song, go listen to it. They scream like punk rockers in it. Can I graduate? And that's the kind of motivation you want. Put that on in your car, turn it up, and ask yourself, can you graduate? The lyrics are, can I get my punk ass off the street? Can I look at faces that I meet? Can you? Ask yourself that. Like, can you grab the wheel of your own mind and do what you want in this life and enjoy it? I hope you can. I love you so much. Thank you so much for having me today. And yeah, come out to a show. Let's keep the good times rolling. Mwah! I love you.
Thank you.